Your mic's on, please.
I will entertain a motion to no longer be doing live feed.
I'll make a motion.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
No. Aye.
And I say yes. 2-1, okay. All right, and that concludes that section of it. And then now we can get to actually the meeting itself by reviewing the agenda for today. Does anybody have any comments or any questions concerning the agenda?
No, I'll make a motion to approve tonight's agenda.
Second.
All in favor or roll call? Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Kritz,
Aye.
Alderman Rozowski,
Aye.
Alderman Keck.
Aye.
And then we'll move forward to the minutes for last meeting. If you wouldn't mind reviewing those, please.
Hey, look.
Look her up. Just get it taken care of. No, because it does. It plainly states that that we're distributing. Okay.
Are you wanting us to go ahead and make a motion to approve?
Yes,
both?
I'm sorry.
That's
Yes,
okay.
please
I'll make a motion to approve both the meeting minutes from December 21st and January 13th.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Now we will be reviewing the bills for this month.
Everbridge Incorporation.
Everbridge is the emergency Nixle.
Oh, okay.
Emergency alerts.
And that's a one-time.
That's actually the last time that we will pay. It's actually from last year.
Oh, okay.
We canceled that because, to be honest with you, we don't use it. County sends it out and there's no need in us paying that annually.
I don't think I've ever gotten one Nixle call.
What's the payment towards the bank?
Say again?
The payment with the bank?
That payment is the initial 274,000 that we did for the USDA project. That was the first 100,000 that we went ahead and did so we could pay the engineer some payment, and we are still paying that off. That's not included in our USDA loan that we're under right now.
Okay.
Any more payments?
All right. Okay. Do we have any public comment There's nothing under public comment. And we have nothing under old business. So we are going to move forward to new business with our water department report. And Miss Shockley, you are up.
So.
Thank you, Ms. Shockley. And Chief Weidman, you are up, sir.
Process.
Thank you, sir. All righty, Mr. Lancy with Public Works.
Will go down on us. We'll come go down.
Well, I appreciate everything that you guys did for us, and I know that Joe, you would even help out some as well. And I appreciate all of your efforts. I also wanted to let you know, just because my husband wanted to let you know, that in my court, we did have, if there are any complaints, there is an area, and I can show you if we do get another storm right next to my house, just pile it on up. It's not a big deal at all for us. So, but I do appreciate everything that you guys did, all the late hours that you guys put in, and right. Right. I appreciate everything that you guys did. I thank you so much. Okay, is that all you had, sir? Okay, and then planning and zoning. Ms. Kreitz, are you going to?
Yeah.
Okay.
So planning and zoning welcomed a new commissioner, Shelley Brantz. In January, there was the election of officers. Shelley Brandt was elected as the new secretary and Karen Panther was elected as the new chairperson. Currently, the commissioners are reviewing various ordinances to have a better understanding of what P and Z's responsibilities are and how to review future site plans.
Thank you, Ms. Kreitz.
Mhm.
Okay, so now, as we all know, we have, first off, I would like to say, I would like to give a big thanks to Chief for really helping us enforce all of these ordinances. I know it's been a real pain and a lot of people have made quite a few comments. But that was something that the board really has wanted for a very long time. And I really do appreciate the fact that you guys are really trying to push this for us and trying to get this taken care of. We are finding out that that there are a few things that we do need to go over. Ms. Kreitz and Mr. Rosgowski have really been looking over the books pretty heavy and kind of seeing, what things may or may not need to be looked into. I I do know that our budget for this year, we are going to be looking into a new codification. So because we actually put in extra money for that because we knew that we might be having some issues with our codifications and trying to make sure that, legally that we get everything taken care of and that we have the funds for that. So we've actually allocated money for this because we know that we're going to have this kind of expense going into this. And a lot of these are actually, we're noticing, and you are noticing as well, as well as Mrs. Kreitz, that a lot of these are actually ordinances that are they're just out of date. They've been sitting out there for a long, long time and nobody's really bothered to listen because they weren't really being enforced. And now that they're actually being enforced, we do need to actually kind of take a peek into them. One of the ones, we had a gentleman that came in last month. His name was Mr. Jefferson. He came in last month and he was talking to us concerning trailers being parked and the expense that was actually going to take place with needing to pour asphalt. And him being on a fixed income, he had concerns about that. And I appreciate him for actually coming in here and addressing it with us and talking to us about it, because it allowed us to actually discuss it amongst ourselves as well a little bit and realize that, yeah, maybe this is something that we do need to discuss. So I want to open up the floor just a little bit for this. This is concerning our RVs and actually our trailers as well. And how we want to actually possibly handle this situation, because we do realize that this could be a hefty expense for some of our residents. And we just kind of want to look into it. Does anybody have any suggestions, or does anybody have any kind of ideas that they would like to discuss?
I'm trying to find the actual word.
Yeah, I want
I do not have that ordinance in front of
Is
me, I'm
it-
sorry.
here.
So I know the initial ordinance states that in regards to trailers, not RVs, but trailers, I believe the ordinance states that they have to be on either a gravel or a concrete slab.
It says asphalt or like, I believe it's a
Hard
surface.
surface.
Yeah.
Okay.
So gravel kind of is a lot like asphalt, but it really doesn't even say gravel in the ordinance.
Right.
So it's kind of a little misleading, because I've had people actually come to me and say, well, I can't pour asphalt and I don't want to
Right.
pour a big old huge pad. And right now, from the way that it reads, is that, want one as well? Okay.
Just tell me the number and I'll look it up.
One
That's
and the
all
same.
the
No,
same. Yeah,
it's-
no, that's all the same. Sorry.
What's the number?
Okay. The minimum, okay, so a parking space shall be a minimum width of 10 feet and a minimum length of 20 feet, which is a pretty good spot all by itself. Some people, their trailers are not even that large, to be completely honest with you. It says that the loading space of the truck and other vehicles shall meet the minimum width of 12 feet and a minimum length of 55 feet. Loading space of a single unit type trucks shall meet a minimum width of 12 feet and a minimum length of 30. And we can go on down here. What we were actually talking about is off-street parking and loading areas, including
That's
well, this is for off-street parking, like which we're talking about at the
for
trailers.
loading.
And loading area. Okay, so off-street parking and loading areas, including access drives and aisles, shall be paved with asphalt, concrete, or equivalent surfacing, and shall be free of dust. The surface should be so graded and drained to dispose of all surface water accumulated within the area. Parking spaces shall be arranged and marked to provide orderly and safe parking of vehicles. Thoughts?
Well, first and foremost, I don't necessarily agree that we should be telling anybody what they can and cannot park in their driveway. So
Yeah. And it also says here on off-street parking, 155.060 residential dwelling, one space per dwelling unit on the same lot, and parking shall be restricted to side or back lots. So for instance, like, let's say I have, and I'll put myself out there because I actually did get this, I did get this. I have a boat and I have 2 trailers. Okay. My boat sits in one spot and my 2 trailers sit in another spot. Okay. This specifically says that there is only 1 space per dwelling, per dwelling unit on the same lot, and parking shall be restricted to side and back lots. So is it stating that basically that I have to have 1 spot for all 3 of my dwellings?
Or is it implying that you can only one space on your driveway? I mean, that's where there's confusion.
1 space per dwelling unit.
Okay.
So I can't have 2 separate spots, even though I may have 2 trailers and a boat. I have to have one designated area. Now, are you going to restrict individuals?
I don't know, I got 3 trailers and a camper.
I know some of the complaints that we have gotten is the trailers parked smack dab in the front yard, or, just,
Right.
And I get
those are
that.
the complaints that,
Side or behind the house.
right.
I'm with that part of it.
Because Joe, you had a side drive
Put
put
in,
in for that.
yeah, but, I mean, I was fortunate enough to be able to afford it, most people can't.
Right, I'm just saying that.
I mean, that cost me $6,000.
If we're not we're gonna change it to where they don't have to do the asphalt concrete. And if we allow them just to put it in the grass, we have to have some type of,
Well, and it would fall under the grass ordinance that we
Right.
already have, where it just cannot grow up underneath it or around it. I mean, they're gonna have to maintain regardless.
or even given them
And
the option
If you've
about,
got a comment, chief, please feel free to jump in. Yeah. Yeah.
That's your call.
Yeah, I get it, because I actually, after receiving this, I actually moved all of mine offsite.
That's what it is.
But most people,
Mhm.
Mhm. we have some people that actually have 2 RVs on their property. They have multiple trailers on their property. You're absolutely correct. Mhm.
or even changing the asphalt to gravel. That's a little bit cheaper than,
But again, you're looking at adding an expense to people that even gravel can be, as long, I kind of feel like as long as it's parked like the ordinance states on the side or in the back lot and it's maintained, what should it matter if it's on grass, gravel, or concrete?
Right.
I don't think we should. I just don't agree with saying it's nicely parked on the side of your house, but it's sitting on grass. So now we're gonna make you pay, umpteen thousands of dollars to lay
There's
gravel.
quite a few people. There are some people that are not maintaining their property
Right.
well, and it is growing up and it does look bad. And then you've got quite a few other people that have been maintaining theirs just
Right.
fine. Do you want to do it to where it's only 1 trailer, 1 boat, 1 RV? Or do you want to do it to where, 1 trailer and or boat, or 2 trailers and or boat, or I don't know how you would actually word that. Combination of boat or trailer, yeah.
Right.
Combination not to exceed 3 or whatever y'all. decide.
Yeah, I mean, because
Right.
then that way, if somebody's got a fishing boat and they've got a regular boat and they've got a trailer, well, they
Right.
don't have an RV, but
Right.
they've got those three
Yeah,
items.
I would say
Because I mean,
limit of
face it,
3.
we live close to the river. You're gonna have
Right.
quite a few people that are fishing, and then you've got guys that have their trailers for hunting. And I mean, you've got all of that, and right, yeah. Yeah, because your driveway is basically off limits, but you're off street, yeah.
I would say 3 because I agree. I think most people here that have the trailers, they're going to have 1 or 2 trailers, possibly a boat. I I would think 3.
Because are we, in any of these ordinances, have we restricted them? In any
Yeah, the first one, it only allows 1.
one space dwelling? So are we going to, we're gonna continue with well, if we're not. Are we telling them that they can only park in one particular area?
Well, the
'Cause it says
ordinance
one space per dwelling unit.
to the side or back lots.
Right, that one space could be 100 foot by 100 foot. I mean, it just be that they either park it in the front. Mhm.
That's kind of what I'm
Right.
thinking too, is just get rid of that.
Does it,
Yeah, here, just
um,
alleviate that. And then,
does it state in here that it had, where does it state that it had to be gravelled or?
that
It
is actually
just-
in G,
Just says asphalt concrete.
asphalt, concrete, or equivalent surfacing. And should be
6.2.
free of dust.
Okay. Off-street parking. Okay, so I mean, how do we
Well,
need
if
to
you're
probably
wanting
reword
to-
that?
Honestly, if you're wanting to put it, this is concerning the surface. You could actually. You guys are wanting to put it on grass anyway, so pretty much you're alleviating that.
Right,
That particular section, because that section specifically states that it's asphalt, concrete, or equivalent surfacing. And then it's telling you that it's got to be graded and drained to dispose of all surface water accumulation within the area. Basically, you just, you were stating that you're wanting it to be on grass, but you want it to be maintained.
right.
And maintain accordance to and you could even, if you wanted to, go back to our other ordinance. Couldn't you reference another ordinance?
You could, but what I will do is I will repeal this paragraph and put in that it is permitted to be parked on grass according to the ordinance number that.
And that's the one where it
Instructs
needs
on
to be cut
grass,
down
yes.
and it needs to be taken care of. Does that sound? Okay,
Mm.
I was gonna say it's your officer that's gonna be going out there as well, so as long as it's worded properly. Okay,
Should we designate when it refers to side lot, side not to exceed the front of the house?
yeah, I was
Okay.
gonna say, is there a definition somewhere?
So I know
Just
in
tell me.
the form of the structure is the side lot is not to go beyond.
Okay,
The front of the home?
Front of the home or the front line of the home.
Okay.
And then obviously. the back.
Yeah, because my house actually sits where it's kind of catty corner on the court. So I've got this huge side over here, but I don't have much of a side over here, but that's just the way, and that's how it would be in line, correct? Was just in line with the home.
The front line
I
of
think
the
that
home.
that's, yeah, I think that's fair enough. Just couldn't park it on one side,
do we
but I can park it
designate
on the
one?
other.
Crazy to- designate what?
Do we designate whether they can park, like, we're saying that they can park on the side or the back lot? Well, they could have something on one side of the house and have something on the other side. Is that an option?
Yes, because we're not taking the one spot dwelling.
Okay,
We eliminated that, correct? Yes,
we
it says
took it
delete
in.
dwelling.
I think that's more important to have. We do want much pads.
Right.
Right. If you're not pouring a pad, really, there's no,
And we might just take all A, B, because that's pretty much telling you what the size is right there in 0 points, or the 0.062.
oh.
I understand that, but
0.062, yeah, he's talking about where you're going through the size
We're going to
of the
just,
spaces here.
if we're gonna allow them just
You
park
just
on
eliminate
grass,
those because
we might
technically
as well
speaking,
just
you're not gonna
eliminate
need
that.
those.
To eliminate A, B.
Yeah, so you're gonna eliminate A, B,
The only reason why we would need to keep that is if we still give them the option of at least gravel.
okay,
Which
a
we would need to
vertical
at least have
clearance
in
of
there.
at least, so a vertical clearance of at least 14 foot shall be provided for each loading space. We should probably,
That's
still-
irrelevant.
yeah,
That's
I was gonna
irrelevant
say
to us.
that's
That's
not
more
even concerning
commercial.
this. So it's A, B, and C.
The question I have though is we're now allowing them to potentially have 3 items that they need to park on either the side of their house or the back lot. So does that give them the option of parking on one trailer on one side of the house, a trailer on the other side? That's what I'm
Yes.
asking.
Yes,
No,
it is.
This-
Because
we're
you're
gonna-
you don't have a dwelling. So yes. You don't have a specific dwelling.
I just,
And to be honest with you, Robin, I had one on the side of my house.
Mhm.
I parked it on the one side up underneath my tree. That's where I parked my fishing boat at.
Mhm.
And then on the back side of my house is where I parked my 2 trailers.
Right, but
And that was 2 totally different dwellings. That's what you're asking. Is are you in the back, in the front, or on the side?
She's saying that one can park on the left side of the house and you can have another one parked on the right side of the house.
that's what I'm asking. Because the way this reads now, they can do that.
She's
It-
saying, yes, they can.
Okay.
Because there's not a dwelling, unless you guys are wanting to change that.
it should be one side and the back or.
But what if you've got somebody that's got, you've got, let's say, and I'm just trying to throw something out there, you've got an RV. Okay, prime example. On one side of my house, if I was to park my RV, I couldn't park my RV on the one side of my house. There's no way. I don't have that spacing.
And that is where the variance, because you do not sit straight.
That's true.
What were you saying, Lancey, a minute ago? That's kind of what I'm leaning towards, is that,
It's the back or one side of the drive, where the driveway is.
But what if you have a lot of homes that don't have that spacing by the driveway?
or park it in their driveway.
Which they, and they really can't park it in the driveway because that would be considered in front of the house.
Why couldn't they park it in their driveway?
Whatever they want to park there. No trailer. They're up the road.
Chief, do we have an ordinance stating that they can't park the RV in their driveway?
Don't you dare tell me that I cannot park my RV in my driveway.
Well,
I think we have an HOA back in Eagles Bluff, don't we, Joe?
HOA is. typically different.
Yeah,
okay.
right. No, that's what I'm just making sure we don't have an ordinance. So Bobby, when you said, but it's in front of their house, we're talking about off-road
Off-road.
parking.
Okay.
So they can park in front of their house.
And
They
you can
just
park your
can't park
trailer
it in
in
front
your
of their
driveway too.
house, like this way or something.
Mhm.
Right.
They-
No, I know we don't have anything like that in ours either. Heard that.
So
I
confirming delete dwelling, limit 3, park on the grass, eliminate A, B, and C,
Well,
and to one side of the drive.
back to, if we give them the option that if it's, they don't have to do the asphalt, have it written to where it's, the gravel's there, but they can do it on the grass. We're gonna have to leave A, B, and C in there, so they have, you know what I mean?
Well, if we limit it,
Sign-
if we tell them grass and they want to go ahead and they want to pour gravel,
They can.
they can. And they can make it whatever size they want to make it technically, because they're actually going above.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? Because they're actually going above and beyond just parking it in the grass. If they want to have a larger spot, they can have a larger spot for that. That's their
So-
lot.
But like what Bobby's saying, if they decide to go ahead and do the gravel, do we need to keep the A, B, and C because that gives the widths of what they're permitted to build that parking spot?
Well, those are all minimums.
Yeah.
Those are not
minimums.
maximums.
Okay,
And really, there shouldn't be any minimums because the minimum is grass.
right. I do kind of feel that I agree with what Lancey's saying is that we should designate parking on the one side. I think, you know, we're compromising in the fact that we're allowing you to have more than one item parked on your property. We're eliminating the added burden of, you know, asphalt or concrete. We're allowing it to grass. But I agree with Lancey is, you know, you're gonna have people that are gonna try and park, you know, something on both sides of their house, in the back of their head. Oh, I think there's gotta be a compromise.
So you're gonna tell them what side of their house they're gonna park it on?
I think, like he was saying, it should be on the side with the driveway.
I could.
But then you're gonna get right where the driveway is, right?
That's
So
my
you need to
concern.
make it
That's my only concern.
time on it.
Or possibly you could write something where if it was, I don't even know how to actually say it, but park on the side with the drive unless, and I don't even know what you would say as far as space being limited. Can you put in there preferably you really can't put preferably in a, yeah, you can't prefer. Because I know, I get what you're saying. You don't want to have like all kinds of ruts and all kinds of stuff going through everybody's home, but in all honesty, these are homeowners. They shouldn't want to be tearing up their own yard. Mhm.
And then you're gonna have it going on the streets, will then tear up the street.
Well, we have not been enforcing these ordinances for all of these years, correct?
Yes, but most people are not parking in their yards.
Probably not a whole lot will change whenever we change this to the availability to be able to park on the grass. It's gonna be the same thing that's already out there right now. And we have not noticed any major complaints about things being broken, lines being broken and all kinds of stuff. We're not really changing, like if we, these individuals, right, and we haven't heard massive complaints over that.
Mm. Got complaints? We have actually gotten several complaints about where people are parking their RVs and their trailers, and we actually have.
Lines breaking?
Not lines breaking, but
Well, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
Like utilities being messed up and lines,
Okay.
that's what I'm talking about. I'm not
Okay,
talking
no.
about the complaints. I'm talking about just the structure of the ground because of movement of the
Okay.
ground and ruts. And that's what we've already been kind of dealing with already anyway.
Okay.
And these are for, trailers and boats. Now, your RVs. Sorry. So your
Not to
RVs,
say quad there.
I do wonder about that just a hair. I I guess it's just a responsibility of each person that owns their own RV. I would never in a million years ever put my RV just on grass because,
Right.
yeah, it would tear up my RV.
It'll
So
do a lot more damage.
I don't know if RVs in the grass is a good idea.
that's what I'm saying. I don't know if I necessarily
Nope.
want to.
'Cause I know mine's a small one and it weighs 500 pounds. Brought up quick. I can't get mine in the yard. Makes a mess. I think regular utility trailers, I mean, should be fine.
Okay.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, which I would think most of those guys got a place to park their stuff, but I don't think it's anything to worry about.
So when we had talked about the trailer, the boat, and the RV, just take that RV off there.
I think so.
That's kind of what I'm saying. Because as far as, I mean, I hope that somebody would be in.
It's a boat's
smart
probably
enough to
not
actually-
bad, and if somebody has a ship, they're not gonna park that in their
Nope.
yard anyway.
That's what I would.
Okay.
For at
so-
least for the RVs.
For RVs.
Yeah, RVs, I would leave
Yeah,
hard surface.
Buy it.
Okay, so we've got here, parking space shall be minimum width of 10 feet and minimum length of 20 feet. Because these other ones are for loading spaces of trucks and other vehicles. Loading spaces of single unit trucks. On those types of things, are you guys wanting to keep that? Because you told Rochelle, just go ahead and take it off, the A, B, and C.
Loading space for trucks and other vehicles.
What's it mean by
A, B, and C, Jeff.
what?
Single unit type trucks, is that
Yeah,
is that an RV or is that? Let me go back.
We have people that park box trucks in their yard.
Right.
If anything, what's a minimum of a camper is at least, what, 20?
Well, I would think that you would have
Ours
to,
is a
because you have to go
26.
from tongue to back tire.
Yeah.
I would think that your gravel spacing should be from your tongue to
I
back
think we
tire.
leave A for RVs.
I don't even see where it says that you can't park. I mean, is
I
a
don't see anything
trailer
that
parking,
designates
is that a
RV.
parking space?
Really?
I mean, me, that just sounds like you can't park your car in the yard.
I guess because.
I think it needs to be
mean,
very
I don't-
specific.
Oh, I'm just saying.
Nothing says RV in here.
This is design standard. The other one is, we have design standard,
You have dwellings.
and then, no, you have design standard and you have off-street parking. So your off-street parking means off-street in the
Right.
grass.
To me, off-street parking is for your car.
Okay, so these are the design
mean?
standards of what
Like,
it.
to me,
what-
that doesn't even sound like it has anything to do with the trailer. I mean, to me, that sounds
it's
like,
Off-street parking.
yeah, to me, that sounds like you can't park your car in your front yard. I mean, I guess parking your trailer is parking, but I mean, to me, you can see,
So why don't we do this? Because even doing this, we're looking at two ordinances.
Mhm.
right,
Why don't everybody give me whenever, give me what you guys are looking for individually. I will create an ordinance that touches on what everybody does. We'll bring the ordinance back to the table. Y'all can look at it, review it, strike out, add, or whatever, and just go from
Come
there.
up with an ordinance.
Let
that
me,
fits.
yeah,
Okay.
because we can, I don't care, but I.
No,
mean,
but if these poor people will be sitting here forever and a day while we sit here and
And
discuss all
this way I
this.
can just create the ordinance, put
I'm looking at the
everything,
wrong one.
Joe, you and I can sit down,
Yeah,
what do
yeah,
you
yeah.
think, and go down the line, and then I can
Yeah.
create the ordinance and bring it to the table and y'all can discuss and
Then once we come
Work
up
your
with something.
magic.
Perfect.
All right.
On to the next.
So let's table that bad boy and we'll just kind of move forward with that one. So USDA, pay application 10. Let's take a look at that. I'm working on it. Hold on, y'all. Well, thank you. All right, so this is request of funds number 10, February 10th, 2022. Contract number 1 for and Luke John for $73,170. Land, I'm sorry. So then we go down to engineering fees for basic design is $1,857.75. The inspection was $4,858.85. We've got management services, APS, $3,413.34 with a total of $83,299.94. And do I need to entertain a motion to approve? Yes, I will entertain a motion to approve our USDA payment application number 10.
Motion.
Second.
Miss Eaton, would you please do a roll call vote?
Alderman Rozowski,
Aye.
Alderman Keck,
Aye.
Alderman Fritz.
Aye.
Okay, and then we have, all right, so now we are going to be discussing another ordinance amending chapter 151, which is pertaining to subdivisions. It's our ordinance that has to deal with the width of the streets in our subdivision. Our current ordinance is 32 feet is what we had, what we have in our ordinance. And I am suggesting that we actually bring that down to 28 feet and make
Flat.
that our new ordinance.
Paved flat width.
Paved, flat width, yes. That is not up on the curb, that is just what's flat, and then they can do whatever they want. to do. Does anybody have any questions about that?
Nope.
Nope.
I will entertain a motion to approve this ordinance. Oh, no, we have to read. Ms. Eaton, would you read the ordinance by title only, please?
Make a motion to read title only.
Second.
Aye.
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 An ordinance amending chapter 151 pertaining to subdivision sections 151.021 subdivision design standards.
I'll make a motion for a second reading by title only.
Second.
Aye.
An ordinance amending chapter 151 pertaining to subdivision section 151.021 subdivision design standards.
And I will entertain a motion to approve this ordinance tonight.
Motion.
Second.
Can I please get a roll call vote, Mrs. Eaton?
Alderman Keck,
Aye.
Alderman Fritz,
Aye.
Alderman Rozowski.
Okay. And this concludes our meeting for this evening. We will be going into closed session. But we would like to take a 15-minute break before we decide to go into closed session. So let's see, ordinance 610.1 or 021, closed meetings and closed records authorized when exceptions to the extent of disclosure and otherwise required by law and public governing bodies to authorize to close meetings, records, and votes to the extent related to the following: hiring, firing, disciplinary, and promoting of particular employees.
I'll make a motion to take a break and go into closed session.
Aye.
Or second.
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
All right, thank you.
Did I stop recording? Where am I at?
That's in my packet.
That's not to be in your
When I-
packet. I'm just saying.
What does that say?